Hello, and welcome to the Bowling University studio from the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. I'm Kelly Bednar, and I'll be your host for this edition of the Bowling University Profit Break. Thanks for joining us. Our mission here at Bowling University is to enrich people's lives personally and professionally. And the Profit Break is an opportunity for sharing insights on how to grow revenue, reduce costs, and enrich yourself, your team, and your business. If you're joining the Profit Break for the first time, welcome. We're glad you're here. Give us 15 minutes and you'll be on your way to improving your profitability. Today's show is just one of several episodes where we share some strategies, opportunities, and systems for developing and executing an annual plan. So just how do you eat an elephant? Even when you have a great plan in place, it seems daunting until you break it down into pieces. Today we take a closer look at a proven system to help you ease the stress. So let's jump right in. So in developing strategies for the annual marketing plan, we're taking one piece of that online course called Executing the Plan. See, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Hope is simply not a strategy, but you can create your own luck by planning out ahead and then going and looking at all the opportunities and creating those opportunities. You then have created an opportunity for you to be successful. So what we want to do is overcome any obstacles as we go along. So do you have a current marketing plan? Do you have an annual plan in place at all? Do you plan on a quarterly level, or do you just kind of have a holistically, hey, we do summer leagues in the summer and we do parties at Christmas time? Do you plan on a monthly basis? What is your center planning today? What are you doing if you are in your center, you're sitting in your center right now, and you say, what am I planning for right here, right now, today? Well, when we start thinking about tactical planning, we now think about what are the things we need to be doing on a daily basis to succeed in that quarterly and annual plan. The plans that include these things will be the activities and the things that reach that big picture goal and your objectives. This is the feet on the ground kind of a thing. This is the true implementation of your plan. These are the activities that are specific to implementing the plan. Taking a complaint may not necessarily be in your planning, but it's imperative that you still do it. But it's an activity. It's something that's going on in your center that needs to be budgeted for time. You have to be aware of what's going on. Life gets in the way when you're trying to do your tactical planning. It still has to get done, but it's not factored in. So we want to match our tactics to what's going on in our business cycle. So let's look at this for a second. Basically, your tactical plan will comprise of activities that create success for your sales. These would be things like sales, outside sales. Are you selling? Do you have somebody doing door-to-door sales? Are you doing phone sales? Are you doing? How's your team doing? Suggestive selling, what's going on? Are you doing email campaign, a social media campaign, telemarketing? All of these would be things that set the ground for fertility of your success. Are you out there giving tours to the scout troops that are coming through? What's going on? What kind of communication are you having with not only outside and your current guests, potential guests, but your team as well? See, just to summarize real quick, your annual plan, your annual marketing plan is like a GPS. It's the big overview of what's going on. It just simply gets you to your destination, but you still have to reference it turn by turn. And what we're talking about today is that referencing it turn by turn. Get into the right-hand lane, and you're going to turn in 100 feet. That's the tactics to get successful we're talking about. So we talk about that overall GPS that we mentioned in our other profit breaks. This is what we mean. We're talking about the tactics that's going on. So on a quarterly level, 4 times a year, we look at what's going on. In March, we look at July through September. In June, we look at October through December. In September, we look at January through March. And this is the one that always gets me, because I never did it, I'll just admit. In December, we look at April through June. So sometime in December, we need to take and schedule out some time, an hour of time, to look at what we're going to do next year in our summer leagues. We're in the heat of the battle. We have things going on. We got group events coming in. We have Christmas parties for leagues. We have all these things going on in our center. And yes, we should take an hour, schedule it, take an hour, and plan, what are we going to do next summer? What makes sense? Because it's something, you're as far away from it as you're going to be. And instead of looking at it in March saying, oh geez, we got to do, and what do? If you're anything like what I used to do, so we'll just do what we did last year. Well, how'd that work out for us, right? We're not going to achieve our goals if we do that. So our quarterly planning is very important when we start talking strategically and tactically. We can start thinking about what we want to get done. And then, of course, our monthly planning. This is what we're going to spend all of our time on today, is without monthly planning, a couple of things happen, right? We got to be looking at things on a very small scale. And so, because if we don't, those long-term plans seem really overwhelming. It's like, how are we supposed to get that many new league bowlers? Well, if we take it 1 month at a time and do everything in a sequence, it won't feel so bad. And then also, you got to be careful when you're doing monthly planning. You get in the mindset of that there's plenty of time to do it. Oh, it's only January. We got till December. Well, no, we're going to do January stuff in January. Well, actually, I'm going to show you a new way. We're actually doing a little bit of January, a little bit of February, and a little bit of March. So the top 3 reasons to have a monthly plan, these are important because if you're starting planning today for activities for monthly sales, you're too late, right? We can't just sit there and hope that we're going to have, because hope is not a strategy, we're going to hope that we have a whole bunch of group events coming in, sitting there in December, right? If we want a good, robust group events in December, we're going to have to start planning that 30, 60, 90, or, as we mentioned earlier, 6 months out. Most businesses and families, mind you, they set up those events very early. I'll tell you, most corporate, if you're going to have a good sizable party, they're looking at that stuff in September, October-ish. We certainly want to have all of our ducks in a row so that we can actually start harvesting that opportunity. And then finally, if we peel back all the layers of stress off yourself and off your center and off your team, there's no wondering if you'll get the bookings to meet your goal. You're doing all the things you need to do. So if we start doing our tactics of getting things done on a little bit at a time, we're not overwhelmed, we don't have the stress, it's not beating us down. 3 good reasons to have monthly planning. So we talk about in another course, in another profit break, that obtain a calendar with all your holidays and all those things noted, do your online research, come up with all your opportunities, figure out what you want to do, create an awareness of causes of what you can think about. Go into depth in that profit break. Go back and watch that one and see what's there if you haven't already. I encourage you, because it really goes into depth on how you identify these opportunities. Because once we have the opportunities, now where's the work comes around. Once you've identified the types of groups, defined your categories and who you want to try to create in your bowling center, we drill it down and develop all those subcategories for Labor Day or for National Autism Month in April. Who's free to go somewhere, do something on Labor Day? Define what would appeal to targeted groups and decide how to approach what you're going to do. What do you need? What's the best time? How will you promote this and the activities to perform? This is where we're starting to really get down into that monthly basis, right? Once we get there, now how do we got to go do it? So we want to formulate this, because opportunities are the starting point to build that plan. And once you've identified those opportunities, that's where the 90-60-30 method comes to play. Because the 90-60-30 method defines the tactics to go after in that opportunity. So what exactly is 90-60-30? Well, 90-60-30 is simply, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So you break down your annual into quarterly and monthly planning pieces. We've been talking about that a bit, right? Well, now, In any given month, you're going to work on 3 months of the annual plan. You are simultaneously working 90 days out each month. Let's take a look at this. So at the 90-day mark, you're still formulating the plan of execution, right? It's a high level. You're not actually getting in there doing a lot of the tactic stuff. You're formulating what needs to get done, so you're thinking about it, planning it out, what's going to be done in the 60 and 30s. And at the 60-day month, 2 months out, you're creating all your support material, all your collateral, all your marketing materials. You're creating all the planning, who's going to do what. It's all planned out, so you're not just guessing in that next month. Again, this is how you peel back those layers of stress, because we thought about it last month, we got a plan in place, we're going to get this done, and now you got 30 days to put it all together, so now you can take those next 30 and create. You create a marketing plan. You create a game plan of how we're going to advertise on Facebook, how we're going to advertise on email, what are we going to do in-house, what kind of graphics do we need to get all that done. And we do that at that 60-day mark. And then the 30 days out, now the 30 days out from what we're going to be doing, we're executing the plan. So for this month, whatever we got going on, we're executing it all. It's all been planned out. We're not trying to figure out all of that previous stuff all at the same time. Because we thought about this 6 months ago, then 90 days, then 60 days, and now we're in that month. We're in the heat of executing that plan. So here's an example. So take a look at this chart, and here we are. In January, we're going to be looking at formulating the plan for March. And then we're going to establish our support materials and receive collateral for February. And then comes January, we're actually going to execute the stuff that we've been working on for the past 2 months. So I'm going to bring your eyes down to the bottom there and look at December, because we just worked at January. We're going to jump down and say, look, see, January, the previous month, we were looking at establishing the support material for what we were just doing there. And then in November, we had formulating our plan. Now you'll notice in red is March, June, September, and December. And as we mentioned a few slides ago, we talked about how in March, you're looking at August through June, right? In September, you're looking at February through December. So you're getting out ahead of this stuff way in advance. And this does triggers to remind you, if you just have this chart on the wall, what are we doing this month? What are we working on? We're working on these things. And this chart here is probably one of your best reminders to keep that stress down and not get too involved in the minutia each and every day. But what we want to do is make sure that we look at in January. Let's not forget March. Let's get that stuff that needs to get done for February, and then we can execute for January. So I hope this is something that will help you, at least give you a plan of attack to get moving in that direction. But if you want to take this to the next level and learn more about executing an annual plan, we encourage you to take advantage of the online course, Strategies for Developing an Annual Marketing Plan, in the On-Demand program. If you're not sure and need help getting started, reach out to us here at Boeing University. As we wrap up another edition of the Boeing University Profit Break, remember that when your focus is on growing your people, people will grow your business. We look forward to seeing you next time for another great episode. If you have any questions about today's show or additional information you'd like to reach us, you can reach us at any time at education@bpaa.com. Also, all previous Profit Break episodes are available 24/7 for you and your team to watch at boeinguniversity.net. Plus, Profit Break episodes are available every month, so mark your calendar, watch your email, and join us on Facebook to hear about our latest episodes. Until then, I'm Kelly Bednar, and do for one what you could wish you could do for everyone. See you next time.